Welcome, 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 welcome to Liberal 12th Man Show. I hope that you are all well, whether you're watching this live or on replay. Hope that you are all well. 111, good time to start. Because some might say that we were fortunate to get the result that we got, but I believe that it was it was a good game for both sides. And I'm going to get into the ratings. I'm actually going to switch up a little bit too, in that I'm going to I'll pick up to Nigel. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'd love to hear. Please do put in your comments or your opinions or your takes. I'd love to chop it up with my brethren always. And I appreciate you guys showing up and showing some love. I know there's plenty of other channels. I know you can put them on all at the same time, like I do. I try to watch like 3, 4, 5 different channels at the same time. But that's just because I truly believe that we as Reds should always support the community, support the entire community, but always, especially support the Reds community. And I appreciate you guys showing up and showing love. Big up to LFC Aaron as well. I wanted to get into this because I put in some ratings. We can tinker the ratings and push them up or down to see how you guys feel about it. But I went through the ratings. I utilized a little algorithm system that I utilized to kind of like come up with some precise numbers, crunching and everything else. You know how I am, a stat guy. But I do like the eye test as well. I appreciate it. So I want to hear your eye tests on what you feel was your conception of the game. How are you guys feeling about the game, first off? Are you happy? Are you kind of like disappointed? Do you possibly think that it was like an opportunity missed? I'd love to hear that concept because I know myself, I definitely believe that I kind of feel like it was a little bit of an opportunity missed, considering I think that this city team is a team that we can compete with and play with well. Let's see. Obviously, Aaron gave me a little insight too. He's saying underwhelming performance, very good result. Oh, that's a really good way of putting it. That's a really good way of putting it. Definitely. Nigel says, I thought we played okay, 7 out of 10. You know what I think? Guys, is that I think really when you look at it, what happened in the very beginning was, we have all these players coming back from international play. So of course, the mindset's a little bit different and you got to like focus in on club play as opposed to the international play, So all of a sudden, I do that. I'm not saying that professionals can't do that. They are professionals. I get that whole point. But I think when we came out in that game, we didn't look like we were prepared completely in the mind frame to take on City. I think that we were kind of like, we were kind of not allowing for them to play their game and not forcing them to adjust to us playing our game. That's how I took it. And I'd love to hear if you guys have a different take or if you think I'm wrong or I'm off base on saying that. But I really think that that's what I kind of viewed from it. And keep in mind, I know people can probably like get on me about like the fact that I had to watch this game at 5:30 in the morning, which is, oh gosh. Usually if the clocks weren't set, forward or whatever it is, I would have or set back, I would have had to watch it at 4:30 in the morning. So so big up to all those that had to wake up, early risers like myself that had to take in this game. And then I did watch the game over so I can get a little bit more balanced approach into kind of like conceptualizing what I saw in the wee morning hours. Let's see. Klopp said we had a total of 45 minutes on the training pitch. I think that's a valid point, obviously, Aaron. I mean, that is such an incredible amount of like. I think that when we look at it all, look, the television stations have a say in how or what we see. Obviously, they obviously do set the schedule in this essence of like, what they're going to broadcast, what time they're going to broadcast the games. But at the same time, the Premier League does have some say in it. The FA, all these different organizations do have some say in that. And to put this game at 12:30, again, I know people are going to go, oh, stop the boo-hooing and whining about 12:30. it makes a difference. If you look at all the 12:30 games or all the games that have been noonday kickoffs, every last one of those noonday kickoffs have been a subpar game. Not that the talent wasn't good, not that the team or the build-up, the rivalry wasn't exceptional. Not any of those parts and points to that variable. But the one variable that we did see a lot of is you got to see poor matches, poor performances. And that's from fatigue. That's from the fact that the games are so close. Again, the preparation for the game, as LC Aaron pointed out, 45 minutes on the training pitch. That's all you got to do for a game of this magnitude. That's something where it's someone in the boardroom of these television stations basically saying, hey, two big names, let's put them together, as opposed to someone being like, hey, these two big teams are coming off an international break. Let's give them a little bit more time, or let's give them like a little bit leeway on getting the best result that people are going to tune in. I understand people are going to tune in, but then when you complain about the game and the performance that you see, it takes away from the actual spectacle of the game. And that's something that I think we all love to see. Let's see. We got some great people on the chat too, by the way. Big up to Chris Angel, representing Beijing Reds TV. Chris Angel says, a draw is a loss for me. Very underwhelming performance. There seems to be a disconnect in midfield to defense to midfield to attack. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's just saying, oh, big up, bless up, definitely. Jay Kismet in the house, for sure. You never walk alone. Much love to you, brother. Much love always. Let's see what any other one else. Just everyone saying what good, what's up. Yeah, you know what? Like, I just think that those things, there's some real, I watch all the content creators pretty much, whether they're rival content creators. I watch, obviously neutrals. I watch also, obviously, pretty much all of our brethren in the Reds community. And it's funny how some of these narratives were being passed around, and a lot of these lazy narratives, as I put it, punditry, lazy narratives. Let me be the first to say, my man on this shoulder right here, telling the city crowd what they need to do. Okay. And that is, I believe that Trent had a good game. Obviously, I think that you have to give credit where credit is due for someone that steps up and scores an absolutely brilliant goal. That goal was a brilliant goal. He went to hit that ball with such precision, okay, shows that Trent has some real talent. And what else I got to say is this. The whole Doku's cooked them and all the other crap. Look, this is why I said it earlier on and Savage's show, and this is what I want to emphasize more. And I would love to hear your opinions on this. If you guys differ, I know some of the fan base or in some of the fan base or some outside of our fan base have said that Trent had a bad game or Trent didn't play well or this or that, yada, yada. Look, when it comes to Trent, I believe Trent is a good defensive player, not subpar, not terrible, none of that bull crap. Okay. He is a good defensive player. I've never said he is an exceptional. He's not, his defense is never, I would never say is on the same level as offensive talents. That's something I'm not trying to give off as being what I'm saying. But what I am saying with Trent is this. Trent has taken on the role of this inverted halfback role very well. Okay. It's something new. It's something that he's continuously adjusting, adapting, and creating and making his own. But one thing I can also say, as his play just determined upon his right back play, when it comes to Trent, you have to weigh in that not everyone has to be a good defensive player, to be a good defensive right back. You don't have to always be an exceptional defensive right back. Now, let me give a little context to that. And what I mean by that is, if you are able to play smart football in the sense of understanding positioning, understanding how to utilize the sideline, utilizing obviously the touch line, if you're able to do those things, that is a smart defender. That's someone that is able to utilize the pitch to their advantage. That's smart. That is obviously a good defender, in my opinion. Now, add on to that, people are saying, oh, he's getting cooked. He's getting cooked by going past. He's getting past. Now, if you want to give Doku, who has every right back, every left back, is going to be cooked in one way or another by a winger. The wingers are normally the fastest player. Normally, the fastest player on the pitch is normally your wingers. Just chances are. Wingers, possibly striker, but primarily wingers tend to be the fastest players on the teams. And they're going to go past the player. But you allowing for that player to go past you doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad defender. It's about what you give them by them going past you. If you're giving him nothing, if you're giving him no crosses, if you're giving him no space to cut back, if you're giving them nothing to actually create anything, that's a good defender. And that's what I'm trying to get across, is that, to me, I believe the lazy narratives that some people put out there is that they're not recognizing those portions of Trent's game. Trent has created an idea and concept that he knows that, yes, he's going to have to float into the midfield, sometimes even to the front line, in essence, and create offense. And then he's going to have to somehow rifle back, be able to play right back, create more defensive measures, be able to do the ball recoveries, do all these different things. And that's what you're getting out of Trent. And that's why I'm saying he's playing well. Now, there are some statistics I would love to see better. Absolutely. But when it comes to those aspects, it's good, because Trent was not going to give the inside to Doku. How many times did we see Doku cut back into the inside and create something? How many times did we see Doku, cut into the inside and get a shot off? These are parts and portions of the game that are important to say, if you're cooking, just because you're quote unquote cooking doesn't mean it's anything that you're serving up that's worth eating. Okay. So that's what it is. It's like, I just think like there has to be some real thing. And I see Bajan. Look, Bajan, I get it. But sometimes we got to have some platforms out here that not only defend him, but praise him. I think praise some of these players on our team. I like praising the players on our squad when they deservedly have to be praised. I'll even say sometimes, hey, there's some of these players today that I'm going to say some quote unquote negative things from Mr. Positivity. You're going to hear that today. So don't worry about it. But I got you. I'm going to star your comment, Bajan. I see you and I appreciate Bajan Pops representing Bajan Reds TV along with Chris Angel, Bajan Angel. Definitely see you guys both in the chat. Appreciate you both. Appreciate Bajan Reds TV, especially, So that's the reason why I'm somewhat, in Bajan Pop's words, defending. Okay. Hey, if people say we can't defend, well, I'm going to defend. Okay. But yeah, I think that those are important things about what you have to weigh into that equation when you're dealing with trying to get a good evaluation of how a person played in the game. Because I think that team defense is just as important as individual defense. And to have good team defense, you have to have competent individuals to make up the team defense. A lot of people don't want to hear these things. I get it. But that's just the reality of it. That's the reality. Keep it level. Big up, bro. Big up. What's good, my brother? What's good? Yeah, those are just all these things that I wanted to really like point out. And there was another thing. Oh, well, we can get into. Well, we'll get into the other thing a little bit later on in the show. But again, so I brought in a little bit of this. So I already put in some ratings. I had the ratings. I actually even rated. Man City's or 115's team. So the 115 team I'm going to bring up right now. Hold on. And I'd like to hear like what you guys thought about this. I thought that this is what pretty much we got to see with this. So with their squad. I rated them as this. I rated, and again, it's going to be a complete ratings of the game somewhat because I rated. So I have on here. I'm going to have 115's ratings. I have obviously our ratings, our starting squad ratings, and then I'm going to bring up our subs that we utilize their ratings as well. So Andy, big up Andy. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Definitely. A lot of good, big up. A lot of good people joining the chat. Yo, this is a good day. Good day. Appreciate you all for showing love and saying hello. Big up, big up. And we got a lot of good comments coming in. So I'm going to get in the comments too. But this is kind of like this is what I saw from the City squad. This is kind of like my ratings as to what I really saw for them. I thought that Ederson had a decent game, not exceptional, but decent game. I think that the best performances on the squad, I think, for City were obviously Haaland with his goal. That was him taking his opportunity and scoring and making the most of it. And how he scored that goal was a really, really good take. I thought that was a really, really talented goal by him. And even the setup was really talented too, by being able to, by getting through our two-man press, and then even when Matip and VVD had a chance to possibly break down on him again, break down on Haaland, they didn't necessarily close in the space, and they allowed for me the goal. So I gave him an 8. The other player I gave obviously an 8 to was Doku. I thought Doku played a good game. Don't get me wrong, Doku played a good game. But the one thing Doku didn't do, which is what you could see from Bernardo Master Splinter, was that he's making runs, but he's also trying to like save something in the tank. He made one really decent creation in the game, but that creation was to I believe it was to Alvarez, who ended up like skying the ball into the bleachers. So other than that, Doku I didn't really think created that much. Now, was he a problem and an issue in the sense of by causing people to bring attention to him? Absolutely. But I just thought that he didn't really cook again as much as people are putting it out to be as he did. But I gave him an 8. I think that Bernardo Silva was I actually give Bernardo Silva and I also gave Ake an 8 too. But I think Bernardo Silva was possibly their player of the game. It kind of like, or their player of the game for them, for City. I don't think he was the player of the game in general though. Even if he was, I wouldn't give it to him. I would give an upside down crown to Master Splinter. But I thought Bernardo Silva, despite the fact that he is just an absolute despicable person, he absolutely was a difference. He was a real difference maker in their team. The way that he plays is he's an exceptional player, and it hurts to even have to say that praise to him. But then again, let's just move on. Let's definitely move on. Let's just move on to our team. Okay. So I'm gonna bring up first our starting lineup. Okay. And let's do this. All right. So this is what I had as being our ratings for the starting lineup. I'd like to hear again if you think who you guys think should be moved up. We can go through them real quick. I thought Simicast had a good game. I thought he definitely had a good game. Big up John Conway. I didn't get a shout out to John. Hopefully you're still in the chat. Big up John. Always supporter. Proper Red. Always shows love. Appreciate the support, brother. I'm gonna put down. I'm starring your comments too, because we'll definitely go into a lot of what you have to say, the back and forths. I thought Simicast had a good game. I think the reason why, again, and this is something, again, I keep stressing, once you start to get the realization of how to create a good team defense, and you stop relying on just individual defensive measures or individual defensive brilliance, that's when you're going to get a good team result. That's when you're going to see good defense in general. You're going to see good defensive measures from your squad. Personally, that's what I look at when I look at tactics and such. And I think that with Simicast, he's fortunate to have possibly, in my mind, in my view, the best best center back in the world, much less the Premier League, next to him in Virgil van Dijk. And having Virgil van Dijk next to you, you're able to be a little bit more expressive with your game. You're able to take a little bit more calculated risks and such, knowing that you have your big brother behind you to take care of whatever it is you need to mop up. And also, you also know that you have Alisson, who's one of the greatest goalkeepers in the world. So you have those things. I thought Simicast had a good performance. Are you guys cool with it? I'm going to go through. Just give me like if you think he needed a bigger one. Oh wait, Gene Gray. Hey, big up Gene Gray. Much love, Gene Gray in the house. If you think he had a better performance than a 7, tell me. Like, I'm going to go through. I'll announce them, and if you guys think that that I should bump him up or bump him down, tell me, and we can work it out that way. But I think that Simicast had a good game. I gave him a 7. I thought he had a really decent game, and the reason why I said I think he had a really decent game is because you really didn't see or hear that much from who I thought could have been more of a factor in the game, and who I rate higher. I rate Foden higher than I rate Doku, I rate both of them, but I just rate Foden as a better player. And we didn't really hear much from him. We really didn't see that great of a performance from Foden. So I gave Simicast a 7. You guys definitely give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or number on Simi. Gene Gray says this about Simi. Proud of Simi. He's improving, getting the game. You know what I'm saying, Gene? I'm like, go figure. You give a guy a little bit of time to breathe. You give a guy a little bit of time to a couple of good runs in the game. You give a guy some a measure to know that you're able. Yes, you can make mistakes. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're automatically going to get pulled out of the next game, or even for Simicast's case, sometimes we've seen him have great games in the past, and the very next game you see Robbo start. So I like it that Simicast is going to be getting some things. I'm going to give some updates on Alisson and Diego a little bit later as well. We haven't gotten much updates as of yet, but that is something that I'm going to give a little bit later. I thought Virgil van Dijk, I gave him a 7, or captain. I thought Virgil van Dijk had a good game as well. Not on the level where, let's see, how can I even put it? Because it didn't necessarily. We didn't have that many opportunities to get set pieces or to do a lot of corners or anything like that. So it wasn't that many opportunities for him to get involved offensively. He was 1 for 1 for ground duels, 1 for 2 for aerial duels. So again, you saw a lot of the crosses, if they got any, from City didn't really cause a problem, or they certainly weren't trying to pin out or focus in on whoever Virgil was marking. That's certain, and then that's a smart thing. Long balls, 2 out of 7, wasn't the greatest of a thing, but he had 1 shot on target and was fouled once. Decent game, not no exceptional stat that made it incredible game for me to say that he was higher than a 7. I gave Matip, who I thought actually played a little bit better than Virgil in this game, because I thought obviously Matip had to take on a little bit more with his role in coverage for Trent, in coverage for that right center back, right back slight, slash role. And I gave him a 7. I know some maybe gave him an 8. Is that true, or is that too harsh? I think Matip had a good game though. I think it was a solid 7. He had 5 clearances, 4 block shots, 1 tackle, dribble pass once. The only reason why I couldn't give them that much more of a higher rating for either Matip or even Virgil was because of the mistake I spoke of earlier with Holland being able to get through. They didn't close the space early enough on Holland, possibly even take a foul or something crazy. I know that would have been a bad place to get a foul, possibly would have been I don't think it would have been resulted to a red, but possibly into definitely a yellow card, and would have affected their game going forward. But I thought that might have been an opportunity that they could have taken on. They didn't, and ended up resulting in a goal. So that's why I gave them a 7. But other than that, I thought they played exceptional. We even saw Matip getting involved with his passing, which was very, very good. I mean, he was 2 out of 4 for long balls. He's 1 out of 1 for aerial duels. I thought Matip played well. I had and I already have him starred again. There's no, I'm giving all my spoilers away early. I have my man of the match, and who actually did get man of the match is the guy right here on this shoulder. It's again saying to everyone what he like, saying to to the City fans what they need to do, and also saying to us who is number one. That is right, patting the badge. If you saw the thumbnail earlier. So yeah, I gave man of the match to Trent Alexander-Arnold because I thought that despite all the criticism that he got, I thought he played well, people. I really do think he played well. And I get that people are going to continue to say the Doku play, but the man had 2 interceptions, three tackles. He was dribbled past 7 times. I understand that statistic rings loud. It makes you say, okay, wow. He was on toast. He was on out of those. If you told me someone got dribbled past 7 times, but yet no real chances or creations came from those 7 times, who cares? Who cares? Cool. You're dribbling past me to go into this void of nothing. You know, that's how, I mean, he played a smart team defensive play. He played some smart team defense today. He played a smart team defensive game today. And the goal, people, the goal, you got to give him a measure for that goal. No, to score that goal when he did, oh wow, man, I was livid. I was just up. I was just that was really something, you know. And again, like the supporter pub that I was at really went crazy when they got to see that. Yeah, it was really thing. And also, you got a last man tackle too. In that was important, very important to say, you know. So I gave Dom a 6. Now I know that people might think of that being harsh. I thought Dom played I think Dom played an okay game. I'm not saying that he played a great game. He didn't play. I was hoping for a little bit more out of Dom, especially knowing that Dom had a responsibility of helping Trent, helping on that team defensive measures. He was a part of that where Trent and Dom both looked a little lackadaisical when that opportunity went on. Yes, I did. This is the question. You went to a bar to watch it? Yes. So here in America, we have supporter pubs. And normally, and in every city, pretty much, not every city, but a lot of the cities in the country have supporter pubs. There's a supporter pub in Phoenix. It's the one, let me get there. It's the one right here. That's the supporter pub scarf for it, for Crown Public House. And it also is interesting when the games are at 4:30 or 5:30 in the morning, because you're not allowed to serve alcohol until 6 a.m. So that's when you can get your first drink, is at 6 a.m. So in the morning, you know, you got to, we're getting there. The doors open at like around 5 o'clock. And you know, you're able to get water, Red Bulls to keep you up, or and you're able to order breakfast. Fortunately, there's food at the place, and the food is good. And also they serve English style breakfasts. So I had an English style breakfast and such, and watched this game. Let's see, what is it? Let's see, keep it level says we call pubs boozers in Liverpool. Okay, I got you. Boozers. Gotcha. So yeah, I went to the boozer. Okay. I went to the boozer and yeah. Oh wow. So yeah, so tell me, are you guys cool with the rating I gave Dom as a 6? Is that too harsh? I thought Dom, again, some of the stats that I saw, you know, he did have a key pass. He had 35 touches, you know, 22 out of 25 for passing. Had a big chance creation, and had 1 shot blocked. But he was 1 for 7 on ground duels. Didn't win any aerial duels. Possessions, lost the ball 8 times. Was fouled 3 times. Was fouled once. Had 1 clearance. I thought Boz getting a 6. Look, I love my players, but I think that one thing you can definitely say, I know people sometimes like question where the ratings come from, but the ratings I think tend to be from the breakdown of the numbers and the eye test measured in. And I do somewhat factor the numbers a little bit more so, but I do factor in eye test for sure. So you don't hold me on. No one can hold me on that portion. I thought McAllister had a good game, people. I thought that, our hybrid DM, who has definitely taken a lot of criticism, I thought he had a good game. I didn't say he had an exceptional game. Possibly, though, I think he had one of his better games at DM. And I gave Mac a 7 today, played 85 minutes after having played 2 big international matches the previous week. I thought it was good to see that we got, 85 pretty much decent minutes out of McAllister. He was 1 for 1 for long balls, 4 out of 12 for ground duels, 1 out of 3 for his aerial duels. I was a little scared. There was a part and port of thing. Okay. I see that LFC Aaron, you're giving him an 8.5. That's very interesting. Do put in why you're giving him 8.5, LFC Aaron. I'd like to hear why. Because realistically, there was one portion of the game where it definitely was when I saw him having to cover in that right back position, because I guess Trent was a little bit further advanced. And, when I saw him having to go up against, I think it was Doku that got the ball, and I was like, oh man, this is not going to look good. This is not going to result good. And he knew it wasn't going to. He even reached out, tried to grab him and try to pull him back. They continued on with the play, and again, fortunately for us, Doku wasn't able to really do what people thought that he was really worth doing in the game. Let's see. I also have take a real quick drink. I also have Jones. Look, I'm a big Cujo fan. I didn't think Cujo had a good game. Again, I thought he had an okay game. I'm not saying he had a failing grade game, okay? But I think that he had a D performance. If Redbird's in the chat, I'm giving I know he hates the grades, but I think he had a D style performance. I thought that Curtis there was a reason why he got subbed off in the 54th minute. I think there is a reason why, he wasn't incredibly involved. I just thought Jones was not really there today. 3 out of 8 for ground duels, lost the ball, possession lost 10 times, had 1 tackle. I mean, dribble. He was 2 out of 4 for his dribble attempts. 1 out of 2 for long balls. Again, I just think he wasn't in the game. He wasn't involved the way I would have liked to see Curtis involved. And I know Curtis understands the magnitude of this game. I thought that, again, yeah, I agree. I giving him a 6, I think was being and I can understand 5 out of 10 for Jones, because I think giving him a 6 was kind of being nice to Curtis, actually. Diego, I had Diego at a 6. I thought that Diego, our front line, the very few. Oh, big up Ensman TV, appreciate it, brother. It was just on Ensman and Savage's call in earlier. They had a great show, and they also have a new channel out there. New channel out there. I'm gonna plug their channel real quick. Their channel is called Football Players Club. It's a new channel. They're trying to build up subscribers on there. So if you guys get an opportunity, they're going to be doing a strikers rendition today with Zubiri and Savage as the top strikers of all time. So it should be a good show. Hopefully I'm going to be able to tune in and get my little contributions in there. So big up to Ensman TV and Savage and Zubiri as well. Diego, your peoples. I had Diego, okay. LC Aaron again. You had him at a 5. Yeah, the people that I had at 6s, some of them were lucky to get a 6. I think that Diego didn't get involved the way I would have liked to seen him get involved. So, and I'm a huge Diego fan and supporter. And I think he's one of the coldest players and in the game. Wow. All right, Jake Kismet coming up, bring the hammer down. He gave him a 4. Okay. And definitely enlighten the chat and myself as to why you're giving the ratings that you're giving, because I'll star them or engage in the conversation immediately. I thought Diego had, I think, unfortunately for Diego, he maybe exerted too much too early or something, I guess you could say in those lines, in the sense of, we saw him pull up lane, which is definitely something of a concern. I thought that he only had 12 touches. 12 touches. So he really wasn't that involved. And he had 7 passes. So 6 out of 7 for passes. He had 1 key pass, but he was 2 out of 4, 0 out of 1, lost the ball 4 times, was foul, and had 1 foul. Just wasn't involved in the game the way I would have liked to have seen Diego play. But again, possession was more so in the hands of City. So us getting our front line involved offensively was a challenge at times, very big challenge. Oh, Marion, nice. We have our queens in the house. Definitely, I see Jean Gray, one of our Reds queens in the house. I see now Marion, one of our Reds queens in the house. Definitely, big up to both. Big up to Marion Southward in the house. I know though that Diego is someone that if you don't give him his opportunities, or he's not there to pounce and poach on goals, sometimes you don't see what you really want to see. I personally would have preferred to have seen. I said that I would have preferred to see him start and then seen Diaz come in for pace and for creation. It looks like it would have possibly resulted in a better result for us if we'd seen Diego come in off the bench as opposed to start. But it is what it is. And I gave him a 6. I can understand 5s and 4s, from the Mandem. I gave Nunez, Darwin, the ambassador. I gave Darwin a 7. I wanted to give him an 8 just for taking on Pep at the end of the game and telling him where he could go, where he can put it. I thought that Diego, who you got to show love to Darwin. You got to show love to Darwin because Darwin loves Liverpool, people. Darwin loves that badge. He plays for that badge as if it's his own. I love when I see players do that. I love when I see players take worth and stock and investment in our club. They don't use our club for what some people call as a stepping stone or something like that. We are not a lily pad in this pond for you to go into bigger things. We are the big show. And that's something that I've always wanted to emphasize and something that I wanted to make sure that we represent. And he knows it and he loves it and he understands the magnitude and the pure love that his fellow Red supporters out there show. I thought Nunez had a good performance despite the fact that he wasn't as involved or as he didn't get as many opportunities as I would like to have seen. He had 1 shot on target, 2 off. He had 1 blocked, 25 touches. Let's see. He was trying to get involved, but he was 0 for 2 for ground duels, 1 for 5 for aerial duels, 7 possessions lost, 1 foul. His offsides kind of killed me. I think that's just him really, really emphasizing that he wanted to be a part of it. He wanted to get on that. He wanted to put pressure on that back line. He wanted to get involved. I think he's been really good about being about keeping his line and being able to know when to turn on the afterburners. In keeping with the line and not getting offsides calls on him, but today I think he just had too much adrenaline, maybe chaos, as people like to reference, bubbling inside of him. So yeah, I gave him a 7. Mo Salah, I gave an 8. Now I know that some people might have some different visions or versions of what Mo Salah brought to the game, but I thought that Mo Salah had a decent game. I just thought that, he was getting involved. He had 3 out of 4 dribble attempts. He's trying to he was coming back to help out with Trent and everything else. And I thought that he got involved. I would have liked to see a little bit more accuracy on his passing, but he had 3 key passes in the game. And he was 1 for 1 for the crosses. I thought that he was doing what he could, despite the fact that he wasn't getting off the shots because he had no shots. Which is something that you normally would not have said about Salah. And I can understand Jean Gray. I agree with you. I agree. I agree. Like you could say a 7.5. I rounded up to be nice, but I could see a 7.5 being a rating. LFC Aaron gave Salah a generous 7. Okay, I got you on that. We can. I can understand. I'm a man of people. Again, we can definitely move him down to a 7 if that's the case. But yeah, I thought that I really thought that he played well. He just didn't. It's just that 2-3 players. Everything else was so difficult. Wow, I'm getting outvoted. So 7. Okay. I feel you, people. I feel you. And again, I'm a man of the people. So let me make this little correction on Salah. I can be swayed. Okay, I'll make the correction. So again, I gave him a 7. So I'm gonna move him down to a 7. So yeah, let's move on then to our subs. Who I thought Klopp got it right with a lot of the subs he had to. He was forced into one sub, obviously with Diego getting pulling up lame, but here I'm gonna bring in our subs. So, and you'll note I did make the correction on Salah, so I knocked him down to a 7 since everyone had him at a 7 in the ratings. I thought though, let's see, these are going to be interesting because I'm sure some people are going to knock some of it down, these players possibly. But I gave, considering that out of all of them, Harvey Elliott and Wataru, they both had only, they came in both at the 85th minute. We had Cody come in at the 73rd minute, and we had a double sub of Diaz, and we had a double sub of obviously for Diego, and we had a sub for Ryan for Curtis Jones. And I thought that obviously at the 54th minute, if you're making those subs, it's because of either you're either injured or your play isn't to the level that we need it to be to get what we're trying to get in this result. And that's why I thought Ryan had a good game, guys. I think we've been fortunate to get this player who I believe is a talented player. I think that we got him for what I believe is a steal for the 30 some odd $million, 30 million that we paid for, 30 some plus million that we paid for him. I thought he's an absolute steal for what we got for him. I think he brings a lot of dynamism. He's a very talented young player too. So great that he's so young, and he's going to have so much room for growth in his coming years. But again, I thought Gravenberch had a 7 type game. I thought that Diaz had a 7 game. I know that Diaz didn't get that many great chances, I guess you could say, in the sense of what he was able to do in the 36th minute. Didn't get any shots off or anything like that, but he got 12 touches. A lot of it was like him having to play defense and everything else, but I thought that it wasn't a negative that he brought onto the pitch. I thought that he brought something, but for Diaz, unfortunately, it wasn't something that at that time our focus was different into what we were trying to create for our team. So I gave Diaz a 7. I would have liked to have seen Diaz again. I think Diaz could have possibly started, but I wasn't mad to see Diego start. Let's see. So I got you. Was Mo actually playing? You know what? I got you on that. Nigel. I got you. I think what we saw out of Mo was, sometimes the unsung hero status can be asserted to people that don't get the quote unquote stats of like the goals and assists. I know we give him his accolades when he does score goals, but sometimes when you're doing the hard work and you're doing, when you're doing the grunt work, then I'm going to give you a little bit more of a leeway. I thought that I know I gave him a little bit higher of a rating because of the key passes that he had, but I'm willing to give him a 7. I don't think we need to go any lower I don't think he's a 6. I think that this is what we kind of saw from our subs. I thought that nothing's exceptional from Cody, nothing exceptional from Diaz, nothing overly exceptional from Elliott. I thought though that Endo came in, gave us what, and I got not criticized, but I got called out for saying that Endo gave us Milner style minutes. And again, I'll hold firm to my my analysis of that, in that I think that Endo came out there, gave us some good defensive, running around the pitch, helping out, doing what he needed to do, taking on players, doing tactical fouls, in the sense of not worrying about knowing what's the difference between getting a yellow and getting a red card. Okay, so there's even if you are going to get a foul, if you're going to conduct a foul and get a card, at least you know that you're not getting a red card foul, as opposed to making a good solid tackle that, okay, all right, gets a card, but you still continue to play on and show the same intensity. That's what we get out of Endo. And that's why I made the comparison of Milner, in the sense of, how many times did we see Milner get subbed into a game, and it looks like it's almost as if Klopp said, go out there and make sure that so-and-so knows that he's not able to do what he thinks he can do. And that's what we got out of Endo, especially with the foul that he committed. So again, I thought he played well. Not exceptionally well, but well enough to do the job. I'm trying to pull up here the injury update too for you guys, because I do have an update for them. And then everyone else I thought was decent. I mean, again, I thought Hackworth was decent. Everything else, again, I gave my man of the match. I gave the man of the match to, again, the man right here. He joined us for this segment. I gave my man of the match to Trent. If you guys have a different man of the match, please tell me who you thought was the man of the match. But I thought Trent was the man of the match. The man played, had all of the attention drawn to him defensively, to his side of the pitch, to his portion of the field, and then, but at the same time, had the resilience, had the resolve to go and score the equalizer, and again to sit there and tell the City fans what they need to do. Big up to my man Trent Alexander-Arnold. LFC Aaron has McAllister. I'd love to hear why you had McAllister as man of the match. I thought he had a good game. No shade or no slide against him. I don't know if he had the man of the match, because I don't think anyone had such an exceptional game defensively that you had to say, oh, well, they should get man of the match simply from the fact that they kept us a clean sheet, or they held City to, obviously they held City to, we held them to one goal, but all the same, saying that, oh, well, any chance or opportunity they got was simply snuffed out or anything like that. I just think that we played a good team defense once we came out in the second half, and once Klopp, who I would give a high rating in this game. I think once Klopp got it through everyone's mind that, hey, you know what? Our depth, our team, our club can go toe-to-toe with this team. I get that we're in enemy confines, but let's go out there and bring it to this team. Let's go out and show our merit, show our worth. And I think that's what we got in the second half, especially. Even towards the first half. There is something, and let me see if I can show this little thing real quick. There is something, though, that I think is important. And there's like the momentum rater and everything else. And in the chat, please do tell me what you guys rated Klopp on this game. What rating are you going to give him? If you want to give him a letter grade, cool. If you want to give him a number grade, all these number grades, a 7 is a C to me, a 8 is a B, a 9 is an A 10 is an A plus, obviously, but it's A, B, C, 7, 6 is like a D, and so on and so on. So tell me what you guys had as being your rating for Klopp. And we got some ratings filtering in. Let me see what you guys think. Again, I've said Klopp. Let me pull this update too. And let's see. I feel you on that. I feel you. Give him a 9. I appreciate that. All right, so we have LFC Aaron gave Klopp a 7. Wow. Why'd you give him a 7, LFC Aaron? I'd love to hear that. I'm not saying that you're welcome to your opinion and your ratings, But I was just wondering why you gave him a 7. I thought we played well. There's a difference. Like, I think that we showed today or yesterday, excuse me, that or Saturday, 2 days ago, actually. I believe that we showed that we have a really solid team. And what I mean by that is that there are some players that are injured for us. I get that there's injured players for City, all right, KDB most notably. Okay, there's some really big names that aren't included in their squad. But at the very same time, I think that us utilizing 5 subs and Pep looking at his bench and being like, there's nothing I can do to this team to make it work any better than it is. They're gonna have to. This team should they had to ride out this whole game with that starting 11. And I mean, if you look at the bench, their bench was Oscar Bob, Sergio Gomez, Calvin Phillips, Haskell Vardial, John Stokes, Rico Lewis, Stefan Ortega, and Scott Carson, those last 2 being goalkeepers. Okay. So out of the 9, there's only 7 that he had to choose from. Out of those 7, I'd say Rico, Stones, and Vardial are all basically defenders. So he had some decent defenders on the bench that he could have chosen from. But even he said to himself, I've got to ride with this bench I got to ride with this club, ride with this team that I have on there, because they might score a goal against us or vice versa, or they might score a goal against us, or we might be able to score our best opportunity at scoring a goal against them is with the 11 that he had on the pitch. And then we had the versatility, and Klopp utilized that versatility enough to say, we got options. There's players out there that aren't playing to the levels that we need them to. Cool. We can make these transitions. And we did. Whether it was Elliot, who always brings on pace and brings on energy and intensity, whether it was Endo, who brought on defensive measures, whether it was Hackbo, who brought in a different equation to it, whereas in that false 9, if you want to represent him as being a false 9, or being able to create other opportunities or other differences on the pitch, whether it was Gravenberch, who we've all spoken of and praised so highly. I thought Gravenberch was excellent, and I thought that having that player on the bench to be able to sub in for who we did sub in for Curtis was a seamless transition. I thought it was actually an upgrade in essence, just for this game at least. Not saying that Curtis or Gravenberch is better or vice versa. What I am saying though is that in this game, Curtis was able to, or Diego was able to. Excuse me, I keep getting all my players wrong. Gravenberch was able to, because I'm about to give you an update. Gravenberch was able to do some things in this game, and I thought that he showed the reason why so many people rate him highly and think of him as being one of the steals. I think if anything, he could be a better acquisition than McAllister in the price range, in the price that we got him for. It's an argument. It's an argument. It's the conversation, at least. But I thought, hey, we did well to bring on Diaz again. A good sub that ended up doing what we necessarily needed him to do. He wasn't a negative. It wasn't like he was someone that didn't do anything. But I mean, unfortunately, he just didn't get enough touches, or it was so late in the game that he got subbed in that he wasn't able to really get up into the complete flow of it and everything else. But again, he was coming in at a period where you could see him. He was like switch. He didn't even have his jersey on. He didn't even have his kit on. He's like rushing and getting dressed and everything, because he was probably looking at doing that a little bit later on in the game. So that was interesting. Chris Angel, I did see that rating. Oh wow, you have. All right, Chris, please do elaborate why you gave Klopp a 5. You are definitely the albatross rating of the day. I would not have given Klopp a 5. I would not have given Klopp a 5. Yeah, I would not have given Klopp a 5. But yeah, let me see. I do have an update. And let's see. Beijing, I was laughing at him. I just thought it's very interesting that some of the ratings and some of the grades that we all give out. But I thought that other than that, I think that we had a really, really talented team, or a talented team go in there and show the fact that they are going to fight. They basically, this game was a basic announcement to not only City, but to the Prem, to a lot of people out there. Those out there that were saying that Klopp can't do a pull this down here. That Klopp can't do a rebuild, or that Klopp needs to Klopp is done, or blah 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 blah. All these talks about our manager not having the merit and the ability to create retool our midfield and rebuild this team. I think that they got shown out for what it was, and that is like for what it is. They just got shown out to be what it is, which is, hey, this team is here to fight, here to perform, and here to make a difference this year. And I think that, you know, the assertion of the Europa quad that I put out there, you know, is still on the table. I think that we still have some very, very poignant pieces on this team that can create what we need to create. All right, let me get into some of these comments too before I know Anz's show is starting. I know there's some other shows that are going to be on that everyone wants to show love and show appreciation towards. So I appreciate you rocking with me and staying with me on this one. So I'm going to get into your comments. Jay Kismet says, in a way, Gravenberch was my man of the match guy, came in and changed the game and our energy. I agree. He brought energy. I think that he gets exactly what Elliot understands sometimes as a sub what you're called on to do, and that is bring intensity, bring energy, and if anything, to snap right into the game. No, if you bring energy and intensity, chances are you're going to be able to catch pace and hit the ground running when it comes to the game. Liverpool 12th man. I heard Walker cannot keep up with Doku, so Trent did what he could. Hey, it's the truth. So it's a valid and important point, Gene. This is well said, and it's the part and point of why I said earlier that, hey, it's about team defense when it comes to some of these wingers. It's about team defense. It's not about trying to like isolate and put yourself on an island and say that, oh, this defender needs to shut down this offensive player. No, it's about like understanding your role in the team, understanding what you're going to have to bring offensively, and when you do track back or when you do recover and do what you need to do defensively, you understand that you utilize the system, and that's what I think Trent does. They do that worldwide, India, Germany, where fans meet and watch together. Oh yes, that's about certainly, for certain. Yeah, a lot of times there's a lot of supporter boozers. Did I get that right? Keep it level. So there's a lot of supporter boozers out there. Let's see. Mac 10 was decent, but wow, we should have gone with Ryan. I said this pre-match. Boy, was I right. That would have been interesting if we'd gone for Gravenberch as being our DM. That would have been a very interesting twist, Union Grade. I would like to have seen that. I would definitely like to have seen that. Let's see, what other comments do we have in here? I did see Diaz's dad in the crowd. They isolated him. And what was very interesting is it looked like Diaz's dad was like surrounded by I didn't look like he was in the Liverpool section. It looked like he was just he's surrounded by City fans. If I'm wrong, please tell me in the chat. But I thought it looked like he was surrounded by by City fans, not Liverpool fans. It was very interesting. Most passionate player we have, Darwin. He's already a legend, in my opinion. In my opinion, too. Keep it level, brilliant player. I think that he's definitely going to be one of those iconic players, and has the ability and he has the ability and has the potential of being a true legend for this club. I agree with that completely, absolutely completely. Marion says, 10 when he faced off with Pep walking around. Oh, simply gorgeous. I know you love yourself some Darwin, Marion. But I agree. Like, I love the fact that it shows when players show that heart and they show that intensity for the badge, you've got to give them points on that alone. Let's see. Have those points. Let's see. LC Aaron saying both Gravenberch and Hackbo had a big hand in our goal. Gravenberch for the carrying of the ball and Hackbo for the decoy run. I agree with that completely. That's a good point. Making space for Trent to go in. That was a valid point. I should do Attack This Tuesday tomorrow, but like you're right about that. When he made that run, it opened up space and it created that slight channel of opportunity for Trent. It was such a good point by LC Aaron. Mo will pull players out of position, but then we do not capitalize on this. I agree. There's so much attention drawn towards Mo, whether it's him pulling in double teams, sometimes triple teams. And so often you saw the triangles that they created that were isolating and really causing us to, make these passes or try to switch play or try to find players in midfield, and we weren't able to keep real true possession. So Chris Angel saying, so now we give points for hard work. Yes, we do. Okay, giving out gold stars for a professional player trying hard. Got it. Yes, I'm willing to say that hard work and effort and everything else tend to show up in exactly what Gene and LC Aaron just pointed out, which is that hard work and dedication and intensity and every such is you playing and making those runs and knowing that Hackbo made that run and knowing that he wasn't most likely, he probably wasn't going to get the ball, wasn't going to get that pass, especially since he was bringing a player with him and he would have gotten into a lot of he would have been in narrow space and would have been difficult for him to get a real opportunity off. But that's hard work. That is hard work because you're running and everyone likes to get the ball. Everyone likes to get the ball. I'll make a basketball analogy real quick. And I know it's different sport, but all the same, it applies here. And that a lot of times the hard work is running off the screens, making the runs, making these runs that you're not going to see the ball from, but you still do it. That's hard work. That's dedication. That's important. That's teamwork. That's very, very, very important. And that's something that doesn't get the accolades. Sometimes that's a statistic that you don't see because there aren't very many statistics out there that are going to say, oh, this guy made a run that drew this player, that drew this player this way and created this channel. You're not going to see that. But I appreciate that hard work, and that's something that I think is important to say. Let's see. Mo makes me cringe when he tries to dribble past man one-on-one. He can't do it. Oh, Gene. Oh, I just think that often when you see Mo have to take on players, you're often seeing him take on double teams, triple teams at times. He has started to not be as wide as he once was, which is now limiting, even more so limiting the space that he has to operate and create off of the dribble. But I understand I can understand. Everyone's welcome to their opinions. Let's see. Any more comments like I could say? Oh, there are some. Oh, wow. Okay. I see some people commenting on some things I had to say. All right. Before the game, I wanted a 1-2 win, 94th minute, the Boz for the winner, but we all would have taken a draw. Absolutely. I'm just pissed we didn't take it to them. I understand that. I think that again, I think Klopp said that. I think that if you listen to the after the interview after the game from Klopp, he mentioned the fact that we possibly gave them a little bit too much respect in the very beginning of the game, but then we had a wake up call, and we slowly but surely got more so into the game, and then probably more so than ever in the locker room talk, he made that emphasis of saying that this game and opportunity is here for the taking, and we need to go out there and get it and take it. And I think that is what happened. We didn't concede any other goals. We played well, and even so, it's difficult to get home. Any games that we're getting draws or wins at, are important when we do get them in the confines of these type level competition. And whether it's Arsenal, whether it's Man City, for most part, those are the only two that I really at the moment I see really contending with us for the title. When we're at their grounds, getting draws or getting wins is important, and it's something that we necessarily need to do. And now we need to hold court when City come to our measure, because they'll be happy and looking to get a draw, and more so just appreciative of getting a draw against us at Anfield, much less getting a win against us at Anfield would be a happy birthday surprise for them. So look, I think the same mindset goes with how they view it. And I think if anything, they're going to recognize that Anfield is I said this on Grizz's show, Anfield is the most difficult place to play, period. Anfield, the crowd gets behind the confines, the history, the allure of Anfield shows every time when we no matter who we face, it shows, and it'll step our team up that much of a notch that brings us the result. Chris Angel saying there's too much green in that screen. The rating for me is too bright, too much positivity on here. The dark side isn't strong on here. He is a Sith Lord. I rate it though. All the game changers were on the pitch. I agree. All the game changers for us, absolutely got a chance to be on the pitch. All the game changers for us. Now, I'm not saying that Konate, not saying that Gomez or even Happy Kwanzaa can't have opportunities to change games defensively. Yes, but game changers offensively to bring us the result that we wanted, which was a win. All of them were on the pitch, and I agree. They all got an opportunity today, or I keep saying today, Saturday. They all got their opportunity. Absolutely spot on, patient. Let's see. The football romantics. That's up here. That's right. You know, it's all about the love. Let's see. Grava is a star in the making. Absolutely agree with that one. Absolutely agree. This is Bajan Pops LFC saying, let's keep him simmering in the back. I think we don't force. You're right about that. I'm not looking to force this young man into a role or a position that he is not going to be able able to sustain, much less progress forward with his talents. I think that the way that we're bringing Ryan along is exceptional, and it just another measure of our great coach. Let's see. I'm with you there. Wanted to nick it, but okay with taking a point. Agreed. This is this is comment back and forth between Team Gray. Okay, problem is we keep going to into games with City, trying to contain certain players instead of taking the game to them with no fear. Play our game. I absolutely agree with that, Gene Gray. I think that was I'll reemphasize that. I think that's what Klopp said at halftime. I think that's what it sucks, and it's unfortunate that we didn't go into this game with that mindset. But I believe though we slowly but surely worked the kinks out, and then and got involved in the game because as Bejan says, Anfield, we better see that, and also some more work on Rodri. He was allowed to do too much, in my opinion. I'd like to know who do you think can make Rodri get out of his game? Who is Ryan possibly that player that we can see getting making Rodri, have to do tactical fouls or playing out of his game, or showing Rodri that he needs to recognize that he's going to have to do real work if he wants to emphasize play against us. It'd be interesting. Noante, big up, brother. Big up. Oh man, my mighty Red Army captain here. All right. Nilante says a draw, but very disappointed with the performance. They were there for the taking for me. Big up. I appreciate you as always. Yes, mighty Red Army in the house. Yes, I can understand that. I said it in my preview. I said it on other people's other shows I was on, like Quasi Bowl TV, big up to him. I said with Quasi, I was like, hey, you know what? Like, this is the game for taking. And, when we were on, and Quasi was on the show with Grizz as well. And Tom Little was on that show with us. And we were saying that Grizz and Tom both said that they didn't think of it that way. Quaz and myself We both thought that it was a game for the taking. I think that this is a great opportunity for us to come into this game and actually get a result, which we did. We got a result. I would have been disappointed if we got an L from this game. I would have been disappointed if we ended up. It would have been a real gut punch if we had gotten an L from this game. That was if there was anything, the worst and biggest thing, or the biggest thing I didn't want to see was us not getting a result. I didn't know it was Tom Little's birthday. Happy birthday to Tom Little. But that was the biggest thing I was cognitive of, is that I didn't want to see us get a loss. I think if we got a loss, that would have been, again, any separation that City can do head to head against us, that ends up hurting us in the end. But if we can get something where we get a draw, which is, basically, hey, let's just now hope that we can serve court, hold court on our own home turf. Cool. That means that we can get at least a +3 advantage out of it. That's how I look at it. But yeah. And let's see. The other thing I was going to say is, let's see. I'm sorry. I got an update on there. I was looking at it. Let's see. Arnold, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. So I'm going to give you updates because I said I would give you updates. So let's see. For Alison Becker, let's see. Update that I have so far is that, it did look like it. I hate when people say that. I saw City fans. They were rattled. I love the fact that we rattled them. I love the fact that it was like a wake-up call to a lot of City fans. Look, to the 115, it was a wake-up call in that it really represented a lot of what they're going to have to be prepared for this year. They're going to have to really, really play to a level. There's no, hey, we have to hope or we don't have to worry about we have to chase Arsenal, who we think will most likely bottle it at the end of the year, something along those lines. Hey, this year, this squad right here, you can't really see it because it's the black on black, but this team right here is going to represent this year, and I love the fact that they are. But it looked like Allison suffered a hamstring injury, as I said. So far, the only update I have so far is there's no return date or anything like that. He hasn't got a real positive this or that. But Klopp said on Allison, I hope it's not that serious, but I don't have the answer. No clue at the moment what it is. I spoke to him, and he said he only felt it, meaning his hamstring. He only felt it a little bit, but we have to wait for the scan. I haven't got a result of the scan just yet. Diego, for instance, as well. Taking out the 54th minute for Diego. This is what Klopp said after the game. The shadow over this game is obviously that Ali felt something and Diego felt something as well. I thought something more so with Diego because he went down and you could tell at the 54th minute, something's up. That's not, hey, we're trying to slow up the game or we're trying to time waste. It's the 54th minute. We're already into the second half. That means that this is a legitimate injury. And it's the same thing as I said earlier that we rattled City fans. The reason why I said that we rattled them was because I heard City fans saying that Allison was pulling up lame because he was rattled or he was done or he knew that he was getting cooked or he was having a subpar game, blah, 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 blah. Look, 115, there is nothing more so that I could say that you could tell that he felt something. You could tell. It was before that, it just so happens that we'd already done our 5th sub. At that moment, you might have possibly seen Kelleher come in if we had a 5th sub, just to make sure that we could have seen it out. But I give him credit for the fact that he even muscled through the rest of that game, persevered through the rest of the game. So as I was saying, the quote was this. Klopp said, "This is something we have to assess, and then we will see." He said, "Unfortunately, we lost Diego with a muscle issue. That's concerning. That obviously means that it's probably like a hamstring or a quad or something like that. I don't have a return date or an actual update as to what is going on with him so far, but that's the only, as the quote unquote updates I've seen so far for those players. And primarily why I say only two is because that's as of right now. That's the closest to an update. That's 11 hours ago. That was the closest update I've seen. So you guys, look, it's funny how narratives sometimes go. Let's see. I got a couple more. I'll knock out a couple more for the people again. Some of your chats. Oh, you guys are really getting it in there. Let's see. I gave Nolante his quote. Oh, okay. Someone. Okay, Ali will out for 5 weeks. So you think we still in the title race? Oh, goodness gracious! If he's out for 5 weeks, I have not seen that update. I've not seen that update. If Allison is out for 5 weeks, I think that is certainly a concern. Obviously, I want to see our best keeper be the person that is. But if he's out for 5 weeks, it means that, hey, Kelleher, next man up. Next man up. And I think that if there's anything, look, I get it. It is a concern. I'm not saying it's 5 weeks. I have to that's what Mr. FNB14 is saying. I'm not saying that that's accurate or anything like that, or that's the exact time table for us to see him back. Usually for hamstrings, you usually give them like they're usually going to be out at least 2 weeks. So I would expect Diego, and I would expect if it's a muscle issue or if it's a muscle issue or something along the lines of with the leg, I would expect either of them to at least be out 2 weeks. That's just general. Chris Angel, if you're still in the chat, he can give a more precise or a little bit more of a precise answer as to what he expects. I'd love to hear his take on it. I know he doesn't have an exact diagnosis on what it is the actual injury is, but we all know that there are 2 muscle injuries. So yeah, 5 weeks, if that's the case, it is. But again, if there was any time, I've said this again, if there's any time to have an injury, it would possibly be at this moment of the season for us, in that hopefully it's not a large, not injury like a Robbo injury, something along those lines, but for a muscle injury that you're going to need a little rest and you'll be able to get back up to running. Yeah, I would love to see it. Oh, I got you, obviously, Aaron. It's a running joke. I got you. So it's not Tom Little's birthday. I got you. But yeah, I would like to, if there's ever a time, it's right at this moment. And the reason why is this. I'll explain to you real quick, you guys. Look, our matches. So we have Lask on the 30th, right? That's our UEFA matchup. Then on December 3rd, we have Fulham. Then on the 6th, we have Sheffield United. Then on the 9th, we have Crystal Palace. And then on the 14th, we have USG. And then we have on the 17th, our hated rival of United at Anfield. And then we have also on the 20th, we have West Ham at Anfield once again. This is why I think, if anything, if there's ever a time or place or point that, we can probably weather the storm of injuries that we have to maintain and take on, it's possibly now. If you said that going into the West Ham or even into the United game, those 2 games are at home, that gives us a boost. That gives us possibly an effort and ideal backing for players that should be able to perform behind the confines of good company. It's that importance. That's the reason why I say that. And even after the West Ham game, we're fortunate. We have on the 23rd, right before Christmas, we have Arsenal again at Anfield. So we have some big games, that Manchester United, the West Ham, and the Arsenal game, all 3 big matches on the 26th, the 23rd, and the 20th of December. But those 3 big matches are all at Anfield, which is a big plus. Big plus. Not saying that Anfield can kick the ball in for us or defend against the goal, but then again, you know what? Again, I like the fact that we are at home, and I'm hoping that makes a difference, and we get that extra little boost from the home confines. So, and I'm hoping that the progression of their muscle injuries ends up working itself out, obviously sooner than 5 weeks, as was mentioned earlier. But it would mean okay. And Chris Angel saying this: if it's 5 weeks, that would mean it's a grade 3 hamstring strain involving the tendon. I hope it's not that. I really do hope it's not that. Obviously, Aaron, I agree with you. 115 fans are 115 are weird fans. They are weird. 12th, that could also be applied to City, and the reason Pep didn't make a substitution, all his game changers or winners were on the pitch. No, and I get that, but Bayesian Pops, this is why I said what I said earlier, and this is the reason why I said that they're game changers or necessarily they're winners. I don't think he had any winners on the bench. Pep didn't have any winners on the bench, but I believe that his game changers. If we want to say that you could have a defensive game changer, if you're up 1-0, a game changer against a team that is having spikes of momentum, having different chances at scoring, a game changer would be bringing a defensive player that can solidify your defense and snuff out all those opportunities that are spiking. And I believe that the choices that Pep had weren't better than the choices that he had on the pitch. I think that he just knew that he didn't want to, rustle the apple cart. He figured that that City team was playing well, and that you know what, there was no one on his bench that was going to be a game changer, as you so put it. And I agree with that completely, or somewhat completely. I say there is a little bit caveat to that, in that I think that the game change, that he had no real defensive game changers. He had no people on this bench that he could be like, okay, they are starting to pick us. So rather than focus on us having the 3, well, then take off Foden or take off Doku, and then put in an extra defender in that back line. And therefore you could have slipped. That could have been a game changer moment for Pep, but it wasn't. And he chose elsewise, which was cool. And I appreciate him not doing so. Let's see what else. I'm hoping it's not 5 weeks, people. I'm hoping it's not 5 weeks. We'll soon find out. Hopefully it's not. Nalante is saying we play a second. Yeah, and we're gonna play basically. I want to do disrespect by saying it's a B team. I would do so saying we're playing we're playing our rotation. We're just playing our rotation for the last game. And that's again a good measure of it. I think that we'll see a team that's very much we'll see a heavy rotation when it comes to the last game. In that, if we get a result against Lask, that'd be great. But again, we're playing Lask at home, and again, I think we could possibly we should be able to get a result with our rotated players into the normal 11. I think we should get a result against Lask and shore up our billing of being first place in our group. Let's see. Your talk about Joey G Spice LLC, very own dance hall background dancers. Oh, I don't know what that means. I don't know if I read that even right. Let's see. Bayesian Pop says, yeah. I heard AB is gone till. If he is gone till the start of January, that's unfortunate. But again, it's something where, again, the teams that we're facing there are some really good teams that we're going to be facing. Obviously, I like that we've gotten a lot of the more difficult teams that we need to out of our schedule, and also that we got not only the difficult teams out of our schedule, but we got the away fixtures against those teams pretty much out of the schedule. And that's something I like, and I'm thinking it is going to it's going to show later on in the year. Once we get past that January window and we get into basically, hey, this is the make it or break it portion of the season, I think that's where you're going to really get to see the brilliance of our depth. And I think that we do have real quality depth on our team. Let's see what else is here. You two forget Joey is my guy. Pause. He needs to start. Okay. Dance all. Okay, you guys talking, giving love to Joey. I got that. Um, again, I can't wait for the home games versus Arsenal and Scum United. We need to smoke them both and make statements. I agree. I hope that it's gonna be good. And you know what? It's gonna be cool and great about this little run now for the if it is 5, 4, 3, whatever it's 6 games, whatever it ends up measuring out to be for Allison being replaced by Kelleher. I hope that this gives Kelleher a real boost because he's going to now have to play against Lask and probably play both UEFA and Prem games, and even the West Ham game actually is the game against I think that's our League Cup game. He is going to have to measure up and step it up a notch, and I hope that knowing that he's going to get some runs, knowing that he's going to be the first choice going possibly deep into December, if not into January. Hey, this is the time and place where he can get some real confidence and do what we saw from Simicast, which is get some real confidence in your game, because I don't think that we've seen the confidence or the level of play that we're used to out of Kelleher lately. In the games we've seen him play, he hasn't been up to the level that we have normally seen him at, and I think that that's something that we need to just rally behind him and hope for the best from him. Jean Gray is saying, I'm with you. I've been excited about this all season. From the end of the last season, I told my friends this season is going to be the most open that we've ever seen. It's great stuff. I agree. Bayesian Angel, you're on fire. Okay. On fire, maybe Sith fire, but no, like Bayesian Angel. I'm only kidding, Chris. There's no confirmation on the 5 weeks, people. So let's not get too measured in or dialed into thinking that he's going to be gone until January. I'm not about that. I just know that that's a report that one of our brethren gave in the chat, and it's something I put out there. The updates I have don't have 5 weeks. I haven't seen anything saying 5 weeks. So I'd like to, if someone else has a source, credible source or something like that, I'd like to see it. I'm just going by what I've read from the actual newspapers and such that have given out the reports, and just basically when it comes to it, they just gave the reports of everything coming from what Klopp said in his post-game interview. So people, looks like we had a really good showing today with people joining the chat, putting in their 2 cents worth, showing a little bit of their dark side with Chris Angel in the house, but all good. Hey, I have despite everyone loving the positivity and everything else, I have a little Sith Lord inside me too. So I can be a little Darth Vader at times. I can be Anakin and Darth Vader, and it depends on which side of the bed I guess I wake up on. But again, yes, appreciate it. Keep it level. Appreciate the love for sure. Appreciate it. I thought it was a good result. Excuse me. I thought it was a good result. I thought it was. I would have liked to have seen a better game, but again, that could be measured with the fact that it was a 12:30. It was a noonday kickoff. It could be measured in the fact that we were playing at the Ethiad. The fact that this team won this. Look, the 115. They have not had a game where they haven't won at the Etihad since December against, again, another Liverpool team. And Marion's husband will probably be proud to say this, but the last team that got a result against City at the Etihad was another Liverpool team, Everton, with their 1-1. Again, a 1-1 draw. So, our Liverpool side that we rep and love coming in and getting a 1-1 result. Hey, I'm cool with it. I'm good. I'm not acting like it's a win. I'm not acting like we owned the pitch or anything like that. I think we went into the office, did what we had to do, got a result, And now we move on. We move, people. We move, you know? So big up, big up. Let's see. Any last comments here? Just seen Copper's scheduled a show for tonight. See y'all on there. I guess take it easy. Yep, for sure. Big up to Team Coppish. Always, they all show me love, and I appreciate all the respect and love that they show. And again, I always say this: respect and appreciate and support. You know, by subscribing. You know, dropping likes on contributors or content contributors. Even if they're not, you know, like as in United Spirits of America or like, trying to think of some of the other ones, Tariq Talks, like all these other out there. There's a lot of Arsenal ones too, and I can't believe I'm going blank on them. For Tony and his channel and everything else, you know, should go show them love. You know, give them a subscribe, you know, and everything else. But if there's anyone that you need to, it's the community. It's the Liverpool Reds community, always and ever. I don't agree with almost 90% of what, like, this is football or some. I was on a panel again with Tom Little. I don't agree with a lot of what Tom Little has to say all the time, you know, but these guys are Reds, and that much I appreciate and represent. And I will always walk along with these Reds. I hope that they keep the same measure and concept in their hearts as well, despite the fact that, you know, at times we will go against, you know, we'll have arguments. But family are supposed to have arguments. We're supposed to have these discussions. We're supposed to have these sometimes heated debates. It's the fact that we understand that we are family and that we can have these debates because we are family. And that's important. So I like hearing different opinions. I like hearing, I like being able to give you guys some very, very, you know, enlightened conversation to bring to the table. I always like giving my Mighty Reds Army the tools and weapons to take on some of those. And there are those out there that are some idiots and some fools and some scrolls out there to take on those guys and take on our rivals that just hate us just because we represent the red. Hey, it's all well and good. But again, appreciate each and every one of you guys. I will see you guys soon. Yes, let me say, give up to say represent. Yes, appreciate it. Love you guys. I missed you. Great stream. Thank you. Stay blessed, everyone. Salute. Big up, big up, big up, big up. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And then let's say too many hype talkers out there though. Just for the views, keep it professional and not cringy. I agree with that. I agree with that. And then real quick, not gonna lie, Ghost, your teeth are I appreciate that, man. My smile is not as it's not as alluring. I mean, like captivating as Bobby, but I appreciate it. That if anyone can say that is much love and appreciate that. But I smile because I smile primarily because I'm with my Reds. Anytime I get the opportunity to share the company of my Reds, it's always a positive. It's always a positive in my mind. So I hope that you feel the same way when I join the party or host a party or just show up at the party. And to each and every one of you, I hope that you continue to take care of yourselves and that you take care of each other. That's the most important thing, because I know I will do the same. Appreciate all of you guys. And hey, I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Big up. You'll never walk alone. And as always, take care, brothers and sisters. Take care. All right.